Alright, so this is a 40 kg object being pulled by a 50 Newton force this side. But what is this force doing here? You will know that this force is opposing the motion by an arrow. This means it is friction force. So what exactly do we need to find? In this case, I want us to find the net force. The net force. So the net force, let's call this one. So let's call this force as F1. Then let's call this force as F2. So F2 is a friction force which is opposing the motion of this object, which is going to the right. So how do we find the net force? So net force is given by F1 minus F2. So F1 is 50. So we have 50 newtons minus 20 newtons. So we can say that the resultant force or the net force acting on this object is just 30 newtons. Come back. How do we find B? How do we find the acceleration? From Newton's second of motion, F given by mass times acceleration, we can make acceleration the subject of the formula, which will give us acceleration is force over mass. But the force that we're talking about is the one that we calculated there, which is the net force. If that's the case, then what are we saying? This is 30 newtons. The mass is 40. Mass should always be in kg. So get 40 kg. So what would be our acceleration? Our acceleration would be 3/4 Newton per kg. You can divide throughout if you want. There's no problem. If you want, you can leave it as a decimal place. That's fine. If you want, you can use Newton stroke kg, or if you want, you can say 3/4 meters per second squared. You are still talking about the same thing. There's no problem.